I found out how faces droop, how terror looks out from under the eyelids, how suffering carves on cheeks hard pages of cuneiform, how curls, ash blonde and black, turn silver overnight. A smile fades on submissive lips. Fear trembles in a dry laugh. I pray not for myself alone, but for everyone who stood with me, in the cruel cold, in the July heat, under the blind red wall. The hour of remembrance has drawn close again. I see you, hear you, feel you. The one they hardly dragged to the window, the one who no longer treads this earth, the one who shook their beautiful head and said, "Coming here is like coming home." I would like to call them all by name, but the list was taken away and I can't remember. For them I have woven a wide shroud from the humble words I heard among them. I remember them always, everywhere. I will never forget them, whatever comes. And if they gag my tormented mouth with which 100 million people cry, then let them also remember me on the eve of my Remembrance Day. If they ever think of building a memorial to me in this country, I solemnly give my consent, only with this condition, not to build it near the sea where I was born, my last tie with the sea is broken, nor in the Tsar's garden by the hallowed tree stump, where an inconsolable shadow seeks me, but here, where I stood 300 hours, and they never unbolted the door for me. Since even in blessed death I am terrified, that I will forget the thundering of the Black Marias, forget how the hateful door slammed, how an old woman howled like a wounded beast, and let melting snow stream like tears from my motionless bronze eyelids. Let the prison dove call in the distance, and the boats go quietly on the Nuva. Freedom has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect. But we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in, to prevent them from leaving us. I want to say on behalf of my countrymen who live many miles away on the other side of the Atlantic, who are far distant from you, that they take the greatest pride that they have been able to share with you, even from a distance, the story of the last 18 years. I know of no town, no city that has been besieged for 18 years that still lives with the vitality and the force and the hope and the determination of the city of West Berlin. While the wall is the most obvious and vivid demonstration of the failures of the communist system for all the world to see, we take no satisfaction in it. For it is, as your mayor has said, an offense not only against history, but an offense against humanity, separating families, dividing husbands and wives and brothers and sisters, and inviting people who wish to be joined together. You live in a defended island of freedom, but your life is part of the main. So let me ask you, as I close, to lift your eyes beyond the dangers of today, to the hopes of tomorrow, beyond the freedom merely of this city of Berlin or your country of Germany, to the advance of freedom everywhere, beyond the wall, to the day of peace with justice, beyond yourselves and ourselves, to all mankind. dividing countries, cities, people, families. With this program, we're trying to show how different composers, artists, musicians have tried to bridge the gaps between nations, between their peoples, with their little bit of music, of art, of a reaching hand. They try to make the world a little bit better. So we would like to thank Brand, of course, for hosting us here tonight. Here in Splendor is a perfect opportunity for us as Lonely Noise. We're a platform for contemporary music, and this program is actually just a start for us of a larger trajectory. We're so interested in how music can reach out, can bring peace even. So we're looking to work together with people from other countries, other cultures, other musical backgrounds, and this is our first step in that direction. The idea for this program actually came from a piece by Isang Yun. He's a Korean composer, and he wrote a piece for cello and oboe. And the life story of Yun is very tragic, but also very inspirational, I'd say. Yun was born in Korea when it was still one Korea, and he moved to Japan for his studies. But when the war broke out, he joined the resistance, and he was arrested by the Japanese. He was imprisoned, he was tortured. After the war, he was released, and he returned back to Korea. And he made a career there, and he kept writing music. But then, when, of course, Korea was divided into North and South Korea, Yun was imprisoned again, but this time by the South Koreans for having North Korean sympathies. Yun was very much against the separation, and he had ties in both North and South Korea. But he was imprisoned, he was tortured, he tried to commit suicide a number of times, and he kept writing music, even in prison. And what's so interesting is that his music has actually always been about connection. It's about connecting North and South, about connecting East and West. When he was finally released from prison under great pressure from the West, actually, big names in the classical music scene like von Karajan and Stravinsky and Ligeti, they all petitioned to get Yun free. And when he was finally free, he was exiled. He was not allowed to go back to South Korea anymore, or to Korea in general. And so he moved to Berlin with his family, and he kept writing music. And the pieces that Vincent and Ketty will play for you tonight are called Oost-West Miniaturen, and they're about, of course, the bridge between East and West. And you will hear the oboe having glissando-like sounds representing the East, and the traditional sounds of the cello representing West. And in his music, he's always looking for connection. You'll see that the instruments will find each other, then move away from each other again. But one way, he's always, despite the terrible life story he's had, he's always looking for connections. And that was a great inspiration for us. And that's what we built this program around, actually. So, some Isang Yun, I think. may remember, unable to forget, yet live a lifetime, remember or forget. For you will have a day when you will come to forget. You may remember, unable to forget. Let your years flow by, remember or forget. For once in a while, you will forget. On the other hand, it may be, how could you forget what you can never forget?
very much for coming. I really appreciate it. And also, Katie, thank you so much again. I couldn't thank you enough. It was wonderful working with you, rehearsing with you, giving this very special concert. Like we do with Lonely Noise, we try to experiment with movie, we try to experiment with the pieces, how they fit together, and it was a wonderful chance for us to play live for the really nice audience for you. Okay, so to end this beautiful concert, I have a little surprise to end it not with a too heavy feeling. There's this song called Arirang, and this song is written in Korean, but there's one special thing about Arirang, is it is also known in both North and South Korea. So this is one of the little pieces they both have in common, you know. So we will play that last bit for you as a sign, like music is really connecting people, trying to connect people. So I hope you enjoyed the concert, and afterwards we drink a nice beer or wine or juice, whatever you like. So I all invite you to go to the bar afterwards.